Since I decided to stay in Scenic longer, I ended up riding into town, but I'll ramble over this stuff instead of music.
Gotta get a picture of that.
I'm just kind of into clouds, so I noticed the clouds and, ooh, look, that's different. You probably don't like that, do you? I'm sorry, there's normal. But figured I'd take some pictures of clouds. Back on the bike.
Waiting for this last truck and then we'll go.
Because of this whole COVID stuff, I hadn't really been riding very much, so I was out of shape. My legs weren't used to it, and I kind of hit it pretty hard at the beginning, and my legs were complaining at me. But by this point, I got my legs back. I've just always thought I got more runners in me than biking legs.
And it doesn't look like that trolley's running anymore. There's a dollar a ride trolley that goes to the casino, goes all over.
Kind of noticed I didn't really ride as hard as I normally do. I kind of just went for a bike ride and wasn't pushing it hard. But it is a nice ride in from the casino. It's about 5-6 miles and it's good for you. So I enjoy it. This is the kind of place I can never seem to decide to be in the street or on a sidewalk. Now, obviously, when there are people walking on a sidewalk, I don't ride a bike on a sidewalk, but this is crowded enough and cramped that, you're one car door opening away from face planting and biting concrete, so it can be hard to decide in places like this where's the best place to ride. When there's no people, I'd rather not get hit by a car. But good advice is always remember places like this are tourist towns, so you really got to keep your head on a swivel between other bikes, pedestrians, and getting run over by a car. Pay attention to surroundings. I normally tend to take pictures of post office in towns, and then, you get by the water, and there's just always something beautiful about the water. And Lake Huron, it's not as clear as Lake Superior, but it's still really nice.
There goes the star line out to Mackinac. Sorry if I'm moving around, there's a lot of glare, I can't really see. Trying to point the phone at it, zoomed in. Is he gonna go? No, but he's moving pretty good. It's not very far, a couple 3 miles. Now they're going. Alright.
Because of COVID, this would actually be a good time to go to Mackinac because it's not as crowded as normal. I went last year. I hadn't been in years, and being honest, I know there's people that like to go all the time. I'm not that type. I think you go to Mackinac once or twice in your life and you're good. Again, no disrespect. You need to go to Mackinac, but you decide how many times. Now it's time for me to get some ice cream. I got Bananas Foster, and it was really good. A little pricey, but good. As I've said before, St. Ignace is really just a tourist town. Well, mostly. I shouldn't say totally, but mostly. But it's got some nice restaurants, and it's got the trinkets that you go there to buy. But there are nice beaches, you can swim. It's a cool little place, and it's just over the bridge. You should check it out one day, and might as well go to Mackinac Island.
That's pretty much it. Tourist shops and food.
I probably wasn't fair. There's actually more than just tourist shops and stuff. And because I kept staying here a little bit longer, in upcoming videos I'll show you some of the other things. It's a nice place. Because I didn't need real groceries, I stopped at Dollar General to pick up a couple things.
Alright, I needed some more water, so I got more water than I want on my back right now.
It might have made more sense to take the RV instead of riding back with 2 gallons of water in a backpack, but it wasn't that bad. This place is called Indian Village. It's a nice souvenir shop. Pretty good deals in here.
Oh, I'm loaded down with too much junk.
About halfway back, I was wondering why I drink so much coffee, and if those darn cats could just stop drinking water, I wouldn't have to do this. But again, it's not that bad. It's good for you. Do a little exercise riding up hills and stuff. I'm actually struggling right here to keep talking over this stuff for you, but
These clouds are a little ugly looking ahead. Pretty, but I mean, rain bearing. Look at the sidewalk. I might get rained on. It's darker if you wear my sunglasses.
it's just not always easy to decide whether you want to ride in the street or a sidewalk like this with no people.
Yeah, I might get rained on, and I don't have the latch on the GoPro. The little cover, removable cover where you charge it, I got that off it.
I gotta admit, I don't always trust my planning abilities. I tend not to take rain gear when I need it, and not having the cover on the GoPro, that wasn't thinking ahead.
It's coming.
Right about this point, I was pretty convinced I was going to get rained on, and I figured with my luck I was going to get drenched. So you just keep pedaling and hope the rain waits for you.
I guess I should watch the weather more. Or should I should just assume that it's going to rain because, you know, I bring the rain.
I have noticed that I mentioned a couple times lately that I should have got an e-bike instead of this mountain bike. You know, I was back and forth on which one to get. Being honest, I'm glad I got the mountain bike. I need to keep exercising, and I think that helps. I used hand signals and everything right there. But I will also go back to it and say, there are times that I don't always agree with that decision, where I think maybe an e-bike would have been a better decision, but overall I think I did the best for me. I do notice sometimes that in my rambles, or in this case just filling time, that it can be tough because I don't really get into much personal stuff. I don't like to do that on social media. So I guess the best I can do is 5'10", 165, hazel eyes. That's personal.
If you remember the moose, you can RV here. I've seen a few. I was here once and they were having like a rally, but there's a couple of them there now. Alright, last little bit of a hill.
Although I went slow on most of these trips, last year I made this ride in like 17 minutes because I had 20 minutes to get to the ferry to take me out to Mackinac Island because I got caught on the phone and looked at my clock and was like, oh, I gotta move. I was moving pretty good, but not this time.
No rain. And a lot less campers.
So YouTubers, there we go. There's St. Ignace, Michigan, another trip to it, and a little bit of rambling. I didn't have to stick any music in for you, although I like doing the music. But have a great and wonderful day. P.S. I got real lucky.
Well, that didn't take long, did it? All right, I'm gonna cook.